I'm the calf rearer here, and underneath these sheds is where I will bottle feed colostrum to my babies. The difference between a shed and the paddock, to me, I don't have to be out in the weather. Lately we've had quite a bit of rain and water is just on the surface. Here it's nice and dry, continuously turned over the dirt as well, so it's nice and fluffy. I suppose it's comfort for the calves too.
Being the farm manager, I have to come and check the springers that is in early morning to see if there's any calf that is born there. I have to come here, we call it Maternity. I have to come and check the calves also. I have to go to the sick hut and see if there's any sick cow, and also push them sometimes to milking. And then in the big shed where we have the main cows, I have to go there also to push them to get milk. So I spend most of the time in the shed, and yeah, other than doing some record, I'm always here. Sometimes it's too hot, and sometimes like now it's too wet. So having the shed like now, you can see there's mud outside, but here it's a bit dry. And we need a dry place for our cows, because on a wet place they'll be getting mastitis, and we don't want to do that. So it's so good to be under our shed.
We don't get rained on, we're not getting sunburnt, spending much time in the sun. I suppose it's a bit of a windbreaker too, shelter and shade. It all helps when you're not out in the weather. Being born under shelter, it's shelter from the weather itself. So yeah, I feel like it would help. It's nice, dry and safe under here. They're not getting rained on, they're not sitting in the wet mud. I feel like it does help.
When it comes to new staffs, like we had a staff who came here, and the first thing they do is to look at the structures. So you can imagine a farm with no structures, with no shed, so no one would like to work there. So the first thing to look at is if the farm has structures, like when it is too hot, you know where to go and you'll be safe. So it is a basic thing when we are considering some new staffs, because they will always check that. And if there is no shelters, then they wouldn't like it.
I think it makes it a little bit more attractive. Yeah.
When it is too hot, we find out that when we have cows in the paddock and we want to milk them, they come in panting, and you realize they are heat stressed. But the cows that are from the shed, that is a sick hut, they're just fine. Production has so many factors that goes with it, and one of them is where the cows are, because if they are sitting and under a good shed, that is when they make milk. So if they are out there in heat stress, they will not milk milk. The system is just trying to fight the heat stress and not making the milk. I can imagine assisting a cow outside when it's raining or when it's too hot. So it's well and nice to be in a place where there's shelter. Even in our crash has a shelter. So it will be better and easier and more effective to be under a shed where there's no rain or like too hot. And even for the calf also, we would end up with some navel ill and joint ills if a calf is born on a wet place. So it's so good, it's so helpful to us.